Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from CptBeulchen, and she's in the Alaska, a tier 9 US premium cruiser. She's on the map Greece in a 4-point domination game. And well, it's a tier 9 battle, so that's amazing. There's no carrier, not too many cruisers around. Now she's in a division with a Benham and an Iowa, and they've all spawned here on the right side and they decided to slowly push towards C. Now this situation is always a bit awkward with the C and the D camp, mostly because if you want to push the enemy camp you have to push very far into like the enemy side, and this means you're going to be pretty broadside to anyone who is holding the B camp. Now if this camp were in line with the others, then you could just like stay in a much more safer position and actually contest this camp.
To starboard.
So obviously the Alsace, for example, is something that you need to watch here, because if you push here too far north, you wouldn't want to show broadside to an Alsace here. Now currently CptBeulchen is radaring a Fletcher, but it looks like that Fletcher is approaching an island and will be behind some cover pretty soon, so not much to be done about it. Meanwhile we have a Miyoko showing full broadside, so armor piercing is getting loaded, and let's just see. Now the Miyoko is very slowly sailing forward. Actually maybe a lot more slowly than anticipated, but still there is one citadel. Let's hope there will be many more to come. Now meanwhile there is the Nakatsuki together with the Iowa. And looks like that is the friendly destroyer is rushing the enemy destroyer, which could end up very badly, or well, it ended very badly, didn't it? That's obviously a risk if you're rushing an enemy destroyer in close quarters. It's not just that you have torpedoes, they have torpedoes too. Meanwhile, the Miyoko is still around. And that looks like it was a bit too much lead there. I feel like that Miyoko likes to move a bit more slowly. Well, there is a Scharnhorst broadside, so there is that. And unfortunately, it looks like the enemy Fletcher is...
Enemy battleship foundered.
I think he's hiding in a smoke screen there. Or maybe he just broke vision with an island. But you know, the Scharnhorst is dealt with. The Miyoko should soon be dealt with too. Might be eating some torps, or might just be eating some armor piercing that will... Could there be another citadel? Yes. So that's lovely. Okay, so the Fletcher has been found, and it looks like the Fletcher is coming in for another torpedo rush there. Radar is almost ready, but it's probably not needed because, well, that Fletcher is charging an Iowa, and let's hope that the Fletcher isn't going to survive that. And indeed, the Fletcher's down, but he got some torpedoes off, which is not so nice. So, yeah, I mean, on the bright side, the friendlies lost 2 ships here, the enemy lost 3 ships. So, there is that. Now, the way is open for the Benham to grab the C cap. Meanwhile, CptBeulchen is moving towards B. Don't know where the enemy set went. I don't think he's around here. I mean, obviously CptBeulchen is not spotted right now. But the set could be lying in wait behind an island, but it would have been well, he wouldn't have been doing a lot then. Much more likely he's the one trying to cap A right now. Meanwhile, an Edinburgh appears, and well, she had high explosive loaded. I would consider going to armor piercing. And the thing is, right, if you see like a cruiser come around here, your assumption will be this enemy is going to angle, right? Why would I switch to armor piercing and then just to find a perfectly angled cruiser in front of me? But you know, it looks like the Edinburgh isn't that much into angling, so CptBeulchen is going for armor piercing this time. And this looks like it might just pay off. Now unfortunately Hydro's on cooldown. And that's one less Edinburgh.
Torpedoes to port.
But oh, it looks like the torpedoes, well, those torpedoes missed. So that's good news. Now overall, not looking too bad. The friendly team is very interested in the zone. I don't know what kind of party they are throwing down there in the south, but it must be very interesting because a lot of friendlies showed up. Now the enemy got A and B, but the friendlies are now going to flip C. And, you know, its Alsace is very low, so ship-wise it's not looking too bad. Well, Helena is also pretty low, I guess. But still, friendlies have a 2-ship advantage right now. And can she get the Alsace? Come on, shares. There you go, that's a Kraken.
Enemy battleship
8 minutes for a Kraken, not too bad, and still quite a few more enemies around. So, there is an Akatsuki. And this means there might be some torpedoes in the near future. Now, CptBeulchen has two possible ways to approach this. She can go either straight into B and towards those enemies, or she could try to go around this island more towards the friendly ships. Of course, being more in this position might open up more chances for crossfires. Alaska is the battleship, but you know, if you get some nice broadside shots in, it's also pretty nice. Now she is using her radar here, hoping that the Akatsuki is still around, but it looks like the enemy destroyer retreated. Meanwhile, there is a Donskoy. Oh, there is the Akatsuki. Now she has armor piercing loaded. I would definitely go to high explosive here. The Donskoy is angled, and I mean the Akatsuki. Well, okay, the Akatsuki is no longer spotted. But then again, is the Donskoy just going to show broadside? I mean, it would be lovely, wouldn't it? Of course, Donskoy also has torpedoes, the Akatsuki has torpedoes, so Hydro is running, which should help a lot. And I feel like she's also trying to not sail too much in a straight line here. And finally, the Donskoy is going full broadside. Presumably to launch torpedoes, I would say. And it looks like the destroyer is smoking up there in the back. Now, radar's still on cooldown for a while. But, you know, one problem at a time. First, deal with the Donskoy. And finally, the angles are looking quite nicely. Now, Hydro is running out, but majority of the torpedoes have already been launched, so there is that. And there is the Citadel we've all been craving.
Ship is on fire.
Now, unfortunately, the rear turret didn't have quite as great an angle as the front turrets. And she's already turning to not be Citadel in return. There we go.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
Donskoy dealt with. Now, the enemy team doesn't have too many ships remaining.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
There are some more torpedoes.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Now, radar is almost ready, but, you know, looks like CptBeulchen has decided to first challenge this Iowa. I mean, she can always come back for the Akatsuki later, I guess. And she will also have some cover from the Scharnhorst with this island. Also, the Iowa is just such a lovely broadside, the armor piercing is loaded. And this island serves also as some convenient torpedo cover. Now radar is ready again, we have the friendly Benham potentially coming in here. So she could also just radar for her division mate if that's needed. And, well, that's one less Iowa. That's a very healthy Izumo though. Do we have a next ship just sailing in here broadside? And it looks like the Akatsuki is spotted the good old-fashioned way. Benham is moving in. What's the Akatsuki doing? Is he like charging around here? Hydro isn't quite ready yet. I mean, would you even need Hydro at this distance? It depends on how close the Akatsuki comes. I mean, every second you see those torps sooner might help. Because there are torps coming. I would definitely press Hydro here. But I guess alternatively, sinking the enemy before any torpedoes are launched is also a pretty good defense. So no Hydro was needed. Now that leaves the enemy with a Scharnhorst and an Izumo. So rather healthy broadside Izumo. So the armor piercing gets loaded and, you know, let's just see how much damage he can do here. Izumo shows absolutely no intention of angling. And there is a high caliber. Now there is still technically a crossfire possible from this Scharnhorst, but who cares at this point? And is that... No, the Sumo is not really... I think he's just like sailing in a straight line and it leads to him maybe being angled a bit more. Or is he actually turning to show more broadside again? Wouldn't that be lovely? No, I have a feeling this Izumo is just going in a straight line, not caring about anything.
Problem solved, sir.
So, Izumo's almost dealt with. Who will get in the last hit? And it's CptBeulchen. So that brings her up to 8 kills. Well, there is still one more, you know. Could go for 9. Ooh, but those torps aren't looking too bad. Or, well, I guess maybe they are a little bit too far in. So Scharnhorst dodged the torpedoes. And honestly, I think I would go for high explosive here. Was a pretty good armor piercing hit though. And that's 9. So, unfortunately she didn't send me any post-battle results screenshots, but you know, she earned herself a devastating strike, a Kraken, a Confederate and a high caliber it looks like, and sunk 9 enemy ships. So there is that. I hope you enjoyed watching this battle. And I'll see you guys next time.